September is literally just around the corner, and if you haven't already started mapping out your business goals for the month, that is exactly what we're diving into today. I'm going to share with you my process for my monthly review check-in, as well as how I set goals, create a list of action steps, and map out a plan for the month ahead. Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Shawon, and my mission is to help women entrepreneurs build a brand and business they love. Here on the channel, I share business and branding tips. I also take you behind the scenes in my business as an entrepreneur. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive into today's video. So before I begin mapping out my goals that I want to achieve for the month ahead, I always start with the monthly review check-in process first. This has been a framework that I've used for many years now. It's simple, it's reliable, and it really guides me through the process and helps me to be intentional and know what I should be focusing on when I'm reviewing my goals, as well as when I'm setting goals for the month ahead. This process helps me to stay on track with not only my business goals, but also goals in every area of my life. I simply will go through the prompts and answer each of them, and it's really a great time for me to pause and reflect. So some of the prompts, goals that are growing well. And in this category specifically, or with this prompt, I'll go back to my entire yearly goals list that I created at the beginning of the year. And I go back because I want to make sure that I'm looking at all of the areas of my life and not specifically only focusing on my business, right? So I'll take a look at all of my goals and just give myself a check-in to see what's going well. This also helps me to brainstorm and think about some goals in different areas that I might want to set for the month ahead. I love all of the prompts that are listed here. I have some favorites that I always mention, favorite memories from the month. This is a time I'll typically take out my phone and I'll scroll through photos and videos from the month. There might be gardening photos there of flowers that I've grown. Particularly this month, it was growing zinnias. So to see photos that I've taken to show the process and the blooms, I love to go back and do that. Also in this list of prompts are what I read or listened to. So books have always been on my goals list. I want to always make sure that I'm reading and I'm continuing to grow. I never want to stop growing and learning. This month I read Think and Grow Rich for Women by Sharon Lecter. I also started reading Blue Ocean Strategy, and I also have been reading 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That's a reread, but I'm like hearing some new, well, the same nuggets, but they sound new and fresh, I guess, from this perspective and where I am in my life right now. So I'm reading through that. And I also got a hard copy of Find Your People. That's been a really great book. I started reading that on my flight back home from Alabama. So that's what I'm reading, or what I read for this month. So I love this section. I love all of the prompts here. I really take some time to go through it. I don't rush. I would say typically it takes me about 2 hours to go through everything, sometimes a little longer. I did start prepping for September about a week ago, just because I knew that I had some other things that were going to be going on this week, which is actually the very last week of August. So I go through the month in review process with the prompts. Then I'll flip over to the next page, which is the Prepare Well page, to start getting me thinking about September. So looking ahead to the things that I'm hopeful for and the things that I'm excited about. I know that, hey, September is one of my favorite seasons is this month. It's fall time. I love fall. So I'm really excited for the start of fall. I'm also excited for some brand photo shoots that I have for September. And I'm also excited to be working and be part of an event for a women's shelter in our local area too. So those are some things that I'm excited for. So I'll go through this entire page, and then after that, I will start looking at my entire month. And the reason I want to do this before I really go into like setting what goals I'm going to be working on and mapping out everything, I want to look at the things that I've already committed to. So whether that's clients that I'm already working with, or if it's the event that I mentioned, that's already on my calendar. So I will look through and see the commitments that I already have, because that will also help me to make sure I'm setting clear and reasonable expectations for myself too. The next part of this guided process for me is the brainstorming time. So this is when I'll start to brainstorm, what goals do I want to work towards for this specific month. After I've gone through the brainstorming process, I will then create a specific list of goals that I want to accomplish for that month. And based on those goals, and let me back up for a second. When I'm looking at those goals, I'm pulling out the business goals specifically for this part of the process. And the reason is because I want to create my content strategy plan. So all of my content that I create, I want it to be goals based. It's helping me to get to a specific outcome. And in order to do that, to create the content, I will take a look at my KPIs. For YouTube, I'll wait until the 3rd of the month. So I haven't done YouTube yet. However, what I will do if I want to get started in advance, I may just go back and look at a previous list of ideas that I have and pull out maybe one video that I want to create before the 3rd. The reason I'm waiting until the 3rd is because I want to have up-to-date data from YouTube that'll give me like 30 days of key performance indicators for the month. So I can look at all of my video stats and see what I want to create for the next month based around my goals. Oh my gosh, that was a mouthful. If you have any questions about that, just leave me a comment below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I'll also refer to Google Analytics as well as my social media stats. And all of these things together help me to determine what content that I'll create for the month ahead. And this process does take me, I would say, a day or two to do some research, to write out a list. If I don't have time to do all of the research in advance to prepare for the entire month, I will then just refer to a running list of blog topics or a running list of video topics that I have and pull out one that fits with my goals, as well as that I believe will be valuable to my audience, and create that content for the upcoming week. And then I will take the time to do the research and write everything out. Let me know if you have any questions about that part of the process. So after I know what content I'm creating, I'm now able to map out my month by weeks. Each week I'll know which topic I'm covering, what my content will be, how I'm going to repurpose it, and I will also create a list of action steps that I need to take for any projects that I have. Let's say for instance, a lead generator, or last month I was working on my website, updating that. So for any other goals that I have, I will create that list, create a list of action steps for each item that I need to take, give them a deadline, and then we are all ready to rock those goals for the month ahead. If you want more tips to grow your business, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.